you. The chair recognizes Alderman Beal.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I too rise to voice my opposition to this budget for numerous reasons. Last year, I spoke out vocally that we had a fictitious budget for this year. That budget materialized a $232 million shortfall after we spent hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars on migrants. I too, like my colleague, cannot support a budget that does not reflect support from my community. And before I get started, I just want to acknowledge and commend the 15 aldermen who stood up and stopped the property tax train wreck. My colleagues have stood up saying no to property tax. And we, with the support of everybody in this room, sent a message 50-0 that we did not want property tax. Yeah. Since then, we miraculously just, voila, went to 150. And you all rejected the 150. We went to 68. Now, miraculously, voila again. We go to 0. However, in order to get to 0, we are fining and feeing the people of the city of Chicago to death. The people have said clearly that we want cuts and efficiencies. Cuts and efficiency is what the people have been asking for. But no, we want to ignore what the people are saying. You all hear it in your communities. And I'm going to tell you, I know your phones are blowing up. I know you're getting calls from your residents. I know when you go to the grocery store, the people are telling you to vote no. But to ignore the will of the people, you all, is something that everybody in this room is going to have to reckon with in a couple of years. And so when you're staring down an opponent that is saying, I don't care, I'm going to make sure that I vote in the best interest of my community, you're going to have problems. Because when you look in your community in the eye and say, I sold my vote for a little bit of this and a little bit of that, with a letter here and give me a letter there committing extra resources that we know we don't have. Now, I'm going to tell you, I told most of you all a couple of years ago when the former mayor promised you all this infrastructure for your vote. Where's the infrastructure? Where's the infrastructure? But you gave your vote away 2 or 3 times over the same promise. Now, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Well, the result ain't no different. We have no money. The people have no more money. And they're just asking for cuts and efficiencies, y'all. This budget has increased $5 billion in 4 years. That's bloat, and that's more bloat. We need to cut it. That's what the people are asking for, and that's all we've been trying to do. Now, people have been trying to change the narrative saying that, we want layoffs and services are going to be cut, police are going to be laid off, firemen are going to be laid off. Really, y'all? Do you all ever think 1 minute that anybody in this body will allow police and fire to be laid off, to have streets and sand to be laid off, to have the different departments to be laid off? No. We cannot go for the scare tactics. That's all they are. The boogeyman is coming if you don't do what I tell you to do. So we have to stop this train wreck. We have to stop this spending. We have to continue to fight for our people who have elected us to do the right thing, which we are not doing today. Okay? It's easy. Yes, I know it's easy to go along just to get along. That's easy. But you know what? It takes leadership, it takes guts, and it takes dedication to fight for what's right. That's what we have to do, y'all. We have to fight for what's right. Now, we've asked for different things in this budget. Alderman Riley and the group sent a letter to the budget director asking point blank for information. Now, state law says we have to get our information from the budget office. Well, if we can't get the truth and get the right number from the budget office, how are we going to make an educated decision on what's best for the people of the city of Chicago? If we cannot get the right information or get false information, made up information, how can we make a solid decision on what's right? Now, this body, once again, we voted against our own interests by not having our own financial analysis that we've been fighting for a long time. If we get that, we can get the truth, y'all. We don't have to get what somebody tells us and wonder whether it's the truth or not. When we have a budget director that can justify $400,000 for a committee that don't even exist for the mayor pro tem. When we have a budget director that can justify giving extra security to people who people don't even know when they walk down the street. Now that's fact, y'all. That's the bloke that I'm talking about. And if we can identify with Alderman Lee, if we can identify those innuendos and those politics, throwing stuff in at the last minute, hoping that people don't find it, well, we found it. We exposed it and they took some of it out, but I guarantee you all, if you hear me, hear good today. There's a whole lot more hidden stuff in this budget. There's a lot more that you all don't know about. And we're going to be right back here again at the end, in mid-year, trying to figure out how we're going to get more money. So I'm just imploring you all for once. Stand up and do the right thing. Stand up and do what your people are asking you to do. We are not going to have a government shutdown. We're not going to have mass layoffs. But if we can get to the brunt of what's going on in this budget, y'all, that's all we are asking you all to help us do. Don't take the easy route. Show some courage. Show some leadership. Don't go along just to get along. And so, again, this budget, it has a bunch of problems. I can't vote for it because of all the things that we don't know, and even the things we do know, I can't support. So, all I ask you all, really look at this, look at your soul, look at your heart, and back up and do what's right for your people, and vote no, and let's craft a budget that really reflects the values of the city of Chicago that the people have asked us to do, where the people can be proud to vote for a budget that we send them to make sure our communities are a better place to live and play. Thank you so much. God bless you.
The chair recognizes Alderman